Hello and welcome again to T's Long Stay Vintage Workshop, now in the USA. This is a test, by the way, so I'm not going to do too much repair today, but I'm going to talk to you about this. This is a Philco radio. Now, Philco sets, generally speaking, not as common as another make beginning with PHIL, but they're interesting, and they started about the same time, but came from a different area. Well, the company did anyway. So let's have a look inside after I've talked to you a bit about the radio in question. Now, Philco as a firm started out in the late 1800s as a firm that did things such as bulbs. They started as the Helios Electric Company. Then that was working with carbon arc lamps. But in 1904 they changed to Philco, Philadelphia Company, and they charged batteries and things like that. So they soon developed into radio. When they developed into radio, they came up with a good many interesting ideas, including the first ever transistor was developed by Philco, and also the first linear transistor, and of course radios, record players. Actually, they did the first transistorized record player in America as well. They did a lot of cathedral shaped radios, both here in the US and of course in the UK as well. Now in the UK they started with such things as that, and from there they developed into a firm which developed their own stuff. But in America, meanwhile, they brought out things like the Philco TV set, such as the one that looks like it's off a petrol station forecourt. You know the one. Now the firm was bought out by Ford Motor Company in 1960, and that is why this particular radio I have here has Philco Ford written on it. They didn't change the name to Philco Ford until 1966, but when they did transfer a lot of their radio and television stuff from abroad. This one came from Taiwan, by the way. So there you are. Philco Ford were then sold to Philips, quite appropriate really. And then when Philips left the market, Electrolux, so the name is still going, but only as the name, not much else. But in late 60s, early 70s, these little radios are very much in. They're very easy to service as a rule. Usually with these, it's PNP or NPN transistors. They vary from set to set. This one, like I said, it's Philco, and I don't know quite which one it is. But if you look inside one, which we're going to do now, you'll see we can work there and see which of the circuit is what. Now, with any set of this type, the thing to look for straight away is the capacitors. But I'll let you in for a closer look. This is the inside of the radio in question, and like every radio of this type that's not TRF, this is a basic set. It has no transformers, this one, which makes it better bet that way, so it's a later one. Capacitors, these are often the most common source of the trouble, particularly the one on the volume control, on the way in the circuit. When that goes short circuit, the whole thing will die quite terribly. Well, it'll be silent anyway. Transistors generally okay. Now this is a 6 transistor radio. So you've got oscillator circuit. Yeah. 2 IFs. Yeah, between here and here. That one's the oscillator circuit there. These are, in many cases, colour coded, but in this one they don't. They are, but it's very, very dim. Again, that's something which we'll get by learning, but you know, don't just twiddle and hope, get the manual if you can. Okay, after that, of course, you get a diode, which is down here, and of course, the audio circuit here. So switch this one on now, it might even work. There you go. No, there's more on AM over here than in the UK. That's pretty obvious to tell. So they are in fact more used over here. It's very, very worth getting one of these and keep it as a bedside radio, because the big difference between FM and AM is that AM goes a lot further, particularly at night, and so you can find out what's going on. So this is a Philco transistor radio at the time. Actually, my first TV set I repaired was a Philco 1024 over in England. Over here, of course, the people think that Philco stuff is, generally speaking, all style and no substance. That's not entirely true. There are certain people up here that do think that, but that's their opinion. But in England it certainly weren't. Sets like the Town and Country come to mind. Here, well, like I said, it was very much a case of the sets. They did come up with lots of new ideas, but the quality wasn't all that bad. So that is Philco. This is a test transmitter, by the way, although I will put it up for you to look at. Doing radios and turquoise properly very, very soon. But I'm here, I'm settled, and I'm quite enjoying it for now. But I am, seriously, you know, so there you go, a Philco radio from America, where I am right now, we'll be staying. So, until next time, bye-bye. Be faithful to your God, whoever he is, and be kind to each other. Bye-bye.